So I'm really getting tired of hearing the black community slander the white people.
I had this same face when I saw that video. If you go and look and watch the entire video that I just stitched, you will see that the guy who was going by Alaskan whiskey or Heirs of Great Britain is a fraud. He is actually not an Irishman. His accent is fake. Everything about him is fake. He is a black American who has put on an accent. And look, as much as we all loved his video, giving it to the tethers, giving it to the people who are basically trying to pimp and take over everything that black Americans have created, take credit for all our stuff, you know what I mean? Disrespect us in our land, to call us ghetto. We loved that video, right? But in 2021, this same shyster fraud was out here perpetuating the same rhetoric that Amanda Seals, just 20 versus 1, thwarted, defeated, and debunked. And now, Mr. British Isles, with his Gumby haircuts and his fake accent that goes from being Southern American to British Isles to Irish to Scottish. He doesn't know who he is. He's a confused son of black America. And this is tragic. I know I made light of it because, yeah, we have to make light of it. Sometimes you laugh so you don't cry, but this is actually tragic because this points to a larger issue. It hurts. It hurts that your story is that you are the descendant of slaves, that you descend from people who were dehumanized, brutalized, treated lower than cattle, sheep, goats, and dogs. There is no joy in that being your legacy or your story, especially for black men, because it just goes to show how they have utterly failed as men. That of all races of men, their only and longest legacy in this entire world is being the property of other men. That's painful. It's painful for us as black women that this is the legacy. And so there are some people in our skin folk, our black American skin folk cohort and collective, that are clinging to anything that's going to mean that they come from something somewhere other than the story that we were captured, that we are prisoners of war. But I want us to reframe the way that we have been taught to see ourselves, because see, our entire identity is based in racism. The one drop rule is racist. I was just in another video talking with a sister about this, that the one drop rule is racist and that you get to be the sole author of the dictionary that defines you, and that your racial identity is yours. It belongs to you. And it needs to be formulated based on how you see yourself, how you view yourself. Not, well, the white world treats me as a black person, so that means I'm black. We just had this conversation. And so I want to offer this, right, to this confused brother who was lying and playing a game, probably for the bag. You know what I mean? He got up and he's gone viral now. He's going to keep milking it until he can't, right? He blocked me. He blocked me when I sent him the video. I sent it to him first and I asked him, I said, dude, how do you explain this? Like, what is this? Because just this morning we were talking about this and I was like, yo, I'm seeing people comment about your accent. So you might want to be prepared for that because some shit's about to hit the fan. So when it did and I sent it to him, he just blocked me. And I'm like, because you are fraud, and you don't want to have to be accountable for your fraud, right? You talk a good game, but when it comes time to be accountable, the black man will always fall short. Always, because his ego. So I want to give you all this to reformat the way that you relate to your identity. You're not simply the descendants of slaves, because your people were not slaves. They were human beings who were enslaved forcibly against their will. You are the descendants of warriors who fought, bled, died, and lost. We are the survivors of warriors who fought to the death to try to combat white supremacy, to try to combat the 5 nations, the 7 nations that all came against us in the Americas and in Europe to usurp us. From the ancient days, from the days of the Sibylline priestesses of Mamiwata. the usurpation of the sacerdal authority of the black woman, the first prophetess of Mami Wata, whose prophecies were stolen by the Catholic Church. These people have stolen from us. They have rewritten our history to write us out of history, to reduce us to something primitive. It is the basis for why Black Americans do not want to be called African. We do not want to be associated with something we do not feel we relate to, and with people who do not give us human decency and respect, even though you look like us, even though the only reason you can be in our country and work jobs is because of the fight of our ancestors, the blood spill, the lives lost. I get it. But you're not just the descendant of a slave. You're not just the descendant of a person who was forcibly enslaved against their will. You are the descendant of warriors who fought to the death. They fought the good fight. And they may have lost that war. But the fact that we still draw breath means that they won. That their tenacity and their resiliency dwells in us. It is in us to be great, because our predecessors were great, and they were so great that these people have done everything that they can to expunge all record of us from the face of the earth and to reduce us to subhuman chattel. You are wonderful. It is okay to embrace it. You don't have to put on a Gumby fade and a fake Irish accent, a fake English accent, a fake Scottish accent to be wonderful. You're wonderful just as you are, because you're black. You are of darker hue, and that's enough.